I told you this last week or so, it's going to get crazy with the portal. May 3rd's the deadline, and we just had a monster addition to the transfer portal. 2023 NCAA champion Andrew Alirez from Northern Colorado has gone into the transfer portal. And this was something that I think a lot of people that are not fans of the open transfers and the portal and NIL, this is kind of the exact type of thing they would cite. You've got a hometown kid from Greeley, Colorado. He goes to Northern Colorado. He becomes a national champion, the pinnacle, right? And so obviously his wrestling goal, at least for that year, was achieved and reached. And you could say, yeah, small school, you can do it, you can do it. But now it is sad. And even though, you know, I support Andrew and him taking advantage of the opportunity, it is sort of a conflicting thing, because on the one hand, you do feel like Andrew should be able to make, you know, the money he wants to make, and certainly Northern Colorado is a great program, but the finances around that program compared to some others that's a real uphill battle. So on the wrestling side, they went up against Iowa at 141 and they beat Real Woods, right? So they can say that. But on the financial side, Northern Colorado is on the outside, and it looks like a losing battle financially to keep Andrew Alirez. Now, Andrew Alirez, 141-pounder. He took an Olympic red shirt this year. He has 1 year of eligibility remaining. And the rumor mill is swirling. Now, while I think almost every school is going to give him a call as a national champion, this is someone who, coming into the Olympic trials, was a lot of people's pick to, hey, this guy could go on a run. He could be our representative. He could be the one wrestling at the last chance. Then he made it to Nick Lee, and he kind of had a match that surprised a lot of people. He gave up a lot of points. He didn't look kind of how he had looked previously in other freestyle competitions. And then next thing you know, he's out. And then a week later, he's in the transfer portal. And I don't know if that performance had any impact on it, but the bottom line is Andrew Alirez joins a really loaded transfer portal right now. It has Wyatt Hendrickson's in the portal. You've got Kyle Parko, who rumor mill is swirling for him. You've got Cooper Flynn, among others. So there's a lot of good wrestlers still in the portal. There's still, I think we're going to see some more big names jump in the portal in the next couple of days. They have till May 3rd to jump in. So the question is now, where is Andrew Alirez going to go? Where's Kyle Parko going to go? Wyatt Hendrickson has taken visits. He visited Oklahoma State already. He's going to visit Minnesota, Missouri, Michigan. I think those are the 4 visits he's planning to take. He's only taken the Oklahoma State one right now, as far as I know. So he's the big one. He's mega points. I'm curious if Andrew sees himself as a 41 or 49. You would assume 41. That's where he won NCAAs. And then Kyle Parko, you know, the rumors are swirling around him. And for me, as I look at and think about Andrew, think about Parko and what they could bring to the table for certain teams, I've been saying this all through the season. Iowa, I think, is going all in on the portal. I think that's been their plan. I think if you look at the recruiting classes they've brought in and are bringing in, it's clear their investment is going to be in the wrestlers that are more proven. It's not the high school ranks. They're bringing in Angelo Ferrari, who is a monster recruit and someone I think is going to wrestle really well. But beyond Angelo, if you look at their high school recruits, there's not a lot of guys that look to be difference makers right now. They could be, but on paper, it doesn't look like it. So I've been saying for a while on the show, hey, I think Iowa's just going to be, they're banking on portal. They're trying to, so Alirez to Iowa, I think that would make sense. Parko to Iowa, I think that could make sense as well. And, you know, they've already got Angelo coming in. AJ is still around. You know, you're seeing on AJ's social media. So you could see AJ in their lineup next year at 197, right? So I think the portal is the strategy for Iowa right now to get back towards where they're contending for, you know, if not a team title, right there in trophy contention. Penn State's going to be tough for anyone to catch. But if you add a national champion in Andrew Alirez, a national champion into AJ Ferrari, if you can bring in Kyle Parko, I think you can see the writing on the wall there. Those would be, you know, worthwhile investments for the future. And when you think about the Hawkeye Wrestling Club, you know, this is right now it's kind of Spencer Lee carrying the torch for them. if you can bring in Andrew Alirez, then you've got another guy that's a bona fide senior level wrestler. We all have seen the impact that the NLWC has had on Penn State, where now competing with that, it's going to take more than Andrew Alirez if you look at that room. But that's the kind of thing that recruits like. They like knowing they can train alongside a Spencer Lee, an Andrew Alirez. Just like at Penn State, they can train alongside David Taylor and with Kyle Snyder, with David Taylor, with Zane Rutherford, Roman Bravo Young, on and on and on. So I think there's some synergy there if you bring in Andrew Alirez and then HWC. But that's true for many programs, right? Do you think Oklahoma State's not going to take a swing at Andrew Alirez? You're crazy. Of course they are. I think all the big names, probably outside of Penn State, truly, are going to look at Andrew, and they should. He's the real deal, folk style, freestyle, and you look what he was able to accomplish at Northern Colorado, and you feel like, man, you get him in a program with more training partners, it could accelerate his ability and what he's able to do on the mat. So it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks. I don't think we're going to hear answers really quickly. But the murmurs about Andrew Alirez going to the portal late last week or mid last week, I was hearing about it and knew it was only a matter of time. And now that it's happened, it's going to get interesting. But for Oklahoma State, they're in the mix for so many transfers. But right now there's uncertainty around the coaching position. So what are you committing to other than Oklahoma State? If you say, yeah, I'm going to transfer to Oklahoma State and wrestle for, is that just under the assumption that Coleman Scott's going to get the job, or is there something else going on? I don't know. But the transfer portal continues to give a lot of off-season storylines. It's an ability for a team like Iowa, who, if you look at the returning points, are they going to be in contention? Well, I don't think so. But if you bring in Alirez and if you bring in a Ferrari and you bring in a Kyle Parco, which I'm not reporting that those are happening, I'm reporting just that those are possibilities. If that happens, then that's a pretty good team, because you add those guys on top of a Drake Ayala, on top of Gabe Arnold, Angelo Ferrari. If you wrestle Ben Keeter, you've got Michael Caliendo back. Nelson Brands may be back. Kobe Seabrick off of the suspension or whatever. That's a good team. And it's a team that's, I think, going to be in contention for second place. And in a dual meet, things can get interesting against Penn State. They're going to be a better team on paper, but it will be a more competitive fight than it was last year, which was to say totally non-competitive for anyone against Penn State. So going to be an exciting offseason. It's early May, but still a lot of storylines, a lot of wrestling happening in Division I. What do you think about the portal? What do you think about Alirez? Where should Alirez go? Should he stay at Northern Colorado? It sounds like Northern Colorado tried to get some money together to keep him, and that it just wasn't able to happen. But yeah, where do you think Andrew Alirez, Kyle Parco, and the like will go? And will we see any other big names jump in the portal? I want to hear from you.